Hi everyone, welcome to our session on Simplify RAG with MongoDB Atlas and Azure AI for innovative generative AI applications. To take you through this session, I am Jenosh, Advisory Partner Solutions Architect with MongoDB, and Linda joins me today to co-present the session. So Linda, if you could quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, I am Linda. I am a product manager at Microsoft working on Azure AI.
So the agenda for today is we will start with MongoDB Atlas' unique value proposition when it comes to generative AI applications. Followed by that, Linda will be taking you through Azure OpenAI on your data and enterprise-grade RAG solution. She will also cover the integration of MongoDB Atlas with On Your Data, which brings the best of both worlds. Finally, we submit up with a demo of the integration. So let's begin with MongoDB Atlas as the developer data platform for generative AI applications. MongoDB Atlas is a unique data store as it can store operational data and Gen AI related data, which is majorly context chunks and vectors alongside without any additional overhead. This means no ETL, simpler architecture, leading to cost savings and faster query responses. We are able to store both these varied types of data alongside because of our inherent document data model, which is optimized for storage even as the data evolves and enriches continuously. Another highlight is Atlas Unified API, which helps combine vector search with other MongoDB query language capabilities in an aggregation pipeline. Having the right vector database is key for a robust generative AI application. MongoDB Atlas provides for best-in-class native vector search capability, which was also recognized in Retool survey as the one with the highest NPS score. Finally, MongoDB Atlas inherently provides for functional capabilities required for any modern app, which includes generative AI applications, obviously, which is scalability, reliability, and security, all in a multi-cloud fashion. MongoDB believes that the success of a RAG application from the ideation phase to the production is based on three pillars: technology, ecosystem, and people. When it comes to technology, MongoDB Atlas is suited for all RAG applications, from basic RAG to advanced RAG, including agentic RAG, graph RAG, etc. MongoDB Atlas supports full text search and hybrid search along with vector search on dedicated search nodes so that your operational workloads are not impacted by your generative AI application workloads. We also support pre-filtering for lesser load on the LLMs and post-filtering so that you get better ranked results. We support semantic cache, which improves the latency of the repeated queries. And GitHub Copilot collaboration helps increase the developer productivity and helps building these applications faster. Now, when it comes to ecosystem, we have launched MongoDB AI Applications Program Framework, the MAP framework, which is an integrated end-to-end technology stack pre-wired with composable RAG architecture implementations for customers to build upon. It provides unified support across multiple strategic partners, which includes LLM providers, orchestration framework providers, hyperscalers, GSIs, etc. You can leverage this framework for model fine-tuning, hosting, guardrails implementations, and building RAG applications with low-code, no-code. Now, if you don't have the resource pool for building these applications, our professional services team can help from the roadmap to the implementation with best practices followed throughout. Our AI COE and account teams can also assist in upskilling your teams if you want to do it yourself. Let us now look at how MongoDB is well integrated into the Azure ecosystem. Now, Build Faster aims to get to market faster with MongoDB Atlas on Azure. MongoDB Atlas is integrated with key Microsoft offerings such as Microsoft Fabric, Azure OpenAI Service, Power BI, Databricks, Synapse to build AI, generative AI, and analytic solutions easily. Azure AI Studio, Copilot Studio, VS Code extension, and GitHub Copilot helps developers to build and launch these intelligent applications fast. Now, Build Simpler aims at reducing the complexity and sprawl and focus instead on launching and improving these intelligent apps. Now, MongoDB Atlas is a developer data platform supporting transactional, rich search and generative AI workloads in a unified development environment. Now, when combined with Azure's low-code, no-code services like Power Automate, Power Apps, Logic Apps, and with frameworks like Entity Framework and Semantic Kernel, enterprises can rapidly build and launch these applications with unrivaled efficiency. Now, Build Safer aims at enabling you to confidently run critical workloads. MongoDB Atlas is secure by default with built-in security features like field-level encryption and compliance like HIPAA, GDPR, ISO, etc. and is integrated with Azure Private Link, Azure VNet Peering, Purview, Key Vault, Entra ID, etc. for your peace of mind. Build Smarter enables you to efficiently scale and provision MongoDB Atlas on Azure. MongoDB Atlas on Azure offers self-healing clusters, automated failover, and the flexibility of global and multi-region deployments. Deploy MongoDB-based applications using different deployment options in Azure, including functions, app services, Kubernetes, etc. Now, double-clicking on the integrations of MongoDB Atlas with Azure Generative AI Services. Azure OpenAI Service and AI Studio are well integrated via the Azure OpenAI on your data integration, which is what we are going to elaborate to you today. We launched a MongoDB connector for semantic kernel in both C# and Python flavors, which integrates Atlas vector search with semantic kernel. Thus, it supports Atlas as a vector database, and you can use Atlas vector search to implement RAG applications using semantic kernel. MongoDB Participant for VS Code for GitHub Copilot allows doing more with GitHub Copilot, as it allows you creating MongoDB query language queries from natural language or even getting answers from MongoDB docs directly. MongoDB's Power Platform connector is available in Copilot Studio and can be leveraged to build custom copilots that interact with MongoDB data. Now, for the remaining of the session, I hand it over to Linda. Linda, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. Okay, so I'll start the presentation about Azure OpenAI on your data and then have a demo about the integration between Azure OpenAI on your data and MongoDB Atlas. To start with, I want to share a bit more about Azure AI. Azure AI is the platform for all of your AI needs, including 4 big pillars: Azure AI Studio, cutting-edge models, Azure AI Services, and Azure Machine Learning. Azure AI Studio is the place for building and deploying AI solutions. Cutting-edge models gives you access to the latest foundation and open source models. You can also use pre-trained turnkey solutions for intelligent applications through Azure AI Services, including Azure OpenAI Service. And lastly, you can have access to full lifecycle tools for designing and managing responsible AI models through Azure Machine Learning. To talk about a little bit more about Azure OpenAI on your data, this is a feature to empower you to leverage the power of OpenAI models such as GPT-4 and incorporate the advanced capabilities of RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation model, directly on your enterprise data with enterprise-grade security on Azure. This cutting-edge capability transforms the way that you connect, interact, and ground your data with greater accuracy and speed through a user-friendly conversational experience. You can rapidly create personalized copilots with your data, to enhance user comprehension, expedite task completion, and aid decision making. It allows you to connect and ingest data from multiple and various data sources, such as MongoDB Atlas, Azure AI Search, and Azure Blob Storage, and much more. It also provides a really easy deployment experience to deploy to a Copilot or a Teams app. I also want to emphasize that Azure OpenAI on your data adheres to the Azure OpenAI data policy. When you use Azure OpenAI services such as on your data, your prompts and completion outputs, your embeddings, are not available to other customers, are not available to OpenAI, and will not be used to improve OpenAI models or any Microsoft or third-party products or services. Then let's talk a little bit more about the MongoDB Atlas integration with Azure OpenAI on your data. So this is a really simple diagram that I want to show you the experience and flow of when a user asks a question, how do we generate a response for you? So for example, the user asks a question about what is the price of hiking shoes? We will use this query to generate the query embedding with embedding model, such as Azure OpenAI embedding model 8.002. And then it comes to the retrieval stage, where MongoDB will leverage vector search to find similar chunks related to this query. For example, it will search for some documents that contains relevant information about the price of the hiking shoes. Then we come to the augmented stage. The question plus the retrieved chunks, which is the relevant information retrieved from the document, will be used and augmented together to be fed into the large language model to generate a response. And lastly, we come to the generation stage, which is to generate an answer with your own data. The prompt, which including the user query and the retrieved chunks, will be fed into the large language model, and the large language model will process and generate a response that's tailored towards the question and the retrieved chunks. This whole experience is empowered by Azure OpenAI on your data plus MongoDB Atlas integration. You can leverage this integration through SDK, API, and Azure AI Studio. Now comes to the demo time. I want to demo you a quick experience of how do you spin up this experience and connect your MongoDB Atlas on Azure OpenAI on your data through Azure AI Studio. So right now, I am a developer at Contoso Retail. I want to develop a Copilot for my end user so that when they come to Contoso Retail, it's really easy for them to search product information, such as the price, the features, and much more. So I already have a few documents, such as the Word documents and PDF documents that contain information about a few products that I offer. For example, a few hiking shoes and some others. And I have ingested my documents into MongoDB Atlas vectors index. And right now what I want to do is I want to bring the MongoDB Atlas vector search index into Azure AI Studio to use with Azure OpenAI on your data so that I can enjoy all of the benefits that Azure AI and Azure AI Studio provides. So what I'll do is, firstly, I come to Azure AI Studio, and I'll start by adding my data source. I can select MongoDB as my data source, and then I can connect to my existing MongoDB connection. And you can see here in MongoDB, I have created a vector index that includes some of the information about my product. So for this one, that includes some information about a hiking shoe that I'm selling. And you can see the vector embedding of it. And then I'm connecting to my database, my collection, and my index. To use this experience, I need to connect to an embedding model, and also I'm registering my project index into Azure AI Studio. I also need to input my content and vector field mapping data so that it helps with the citation experience. And that's it. I have connected to my MongoDB Atlas vector index. And now I can start enjoy the experience in Azure AI Studio by testing and asking a few questions. To start with, I'll ask a question about the price of the hiking shoes. So I'm typing this question. I'm asking, what is the price of hiking shoes? So you can see that it gives a response, says the price is 110. And you can verify the price by clicking the reference. I can also ask a follow-up question such as, tell me more about this hiking shoes. It should be able to understand the context and pull more information about this hiking shoes. You can see it is pulling more information about its features, its capabilities, and you can further verify the information with the citation. Furthermore, your data also provides custom parameters for you to tailor the experience towards your use cases, such as strictness, which is used to increase or lower the threshold of retrieving the documents, or you can use retrieve documents to increase the number of documents or decrease the number of documents you want to use to generate a response. Okay, thanks so much for watching the demo. If you want to learn more about this integration, please visit the website and see the documentation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to either Diana or me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.